Hi guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So lots and lots of you have been asking me all about my makeup, what foundation I use, what lip colour I use. So I thought it would be a good idea to do a makeup tutorial and talk you through the products that I like and how I use them as well. As you can see, I've got no makeup on, literally look dead with no makeup on. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So, first of all, I always start with an SPF. Now, Martin is always going on at me about SPF and he's always saying, so important, it stops you aging, and he's drilled it into my head. So I always now start with this Clarins UV Plus Anti-Pollution, which is brilliant. What I really like about this is that it's really thin. So I use it actually as my base moisturiser. You can see it comes out like that, it's quite watery. So all I do, literally, just rub that into my skin. And like I said, it absorbs into the skin really, really well. Unlike others that can be quite thick, I really like this Clarins one because it's just like dead watery and like easy to apply. So literally just with my hands, just apply that everywhere. And I use that really as my base moisturiser before I put any foundation on. So once that's all on, I then start with my foundation. Now, I've got two brushes that I apply my foundation with. One is this one, which is Charlotte Tilbury. Here it is. It's called the Hollywood Complexion. I really like these brushes. Some people like sponges. Some people just use their fingers, but I find this brush works really well. I like that it's got a little sort of like a little nib at the other side as well for underneath your eyes and all the hard to reach areas. So I use that, and then to finish off, I use this blending brush that I actually got from Clinique. It looks a bit mucky now, but yeah, this is the one that I got from Clinique, and it's just like a finishing brush. So, foundation. Lots of people have asked me, what foundation do you use? And actually, it's taken me ages to find one that I really like. But the one that I do love is MAC, okay? Now, I find with MAC, you get a really good coverage. And I like that in a foundation. Some people like quite a light foundation, moisturiser, like tinted moisturiser types. But I really like this because it gives you that flawless finish. So this one is the Studio Fix Fluid. This has actually got SPF 15 in it as well. So that's good. Can never get enough of SPF. So yeah, this is this one, and obviously if you go to MAC, they can colour match you. I think this is NC27. Not quite sure what that means, but they colour matched me in MAC, and this is the one I use. So, open it up. I always blob it onto the back of my hand. So blob it on like that, so you've got like a nice amount there. And then use the brush, the Charlotte Tilbury brush, and then literally apply it. Now, just go quite generous with this. Like, it just gives you that flawless look. And it's really good coverage, the MAC stuff. Some people find it a bit too thick and they don't really like it, but like I said, I really like that sort of like really even full coverage. Now, some people, well, most people do their eyeshadow first. I don't. I always start with my foundation, and then what I will do is after I've done my eyeshadow, I'll show you exactly how I do it, but I just go over with my foundation again. So once you've basically covered your entire face, jawline, you've done it, you've literally given yourself a whole covering of it. I then would use the Clinique foundation brush, and this I just use really lightly in like circular motions. And what that does is it just blends it in really nicely. So there we go. We've got the base and the foundation is on, which is a weird, it's a bit of a weird order really, because everyone does their eye makeup first, but I don't. I always do my foundation first. Now, my eyebrows, you can see, I have got bushy black eyebrows. It's just, I'm Iranian, and we've got, you know, bushy, if I leave my eyebrows, they are literally a monobrow. So I have no problems with having to like fill them in or get them microbladed or anything like that. So I'm quite lucky in that way. I literally have to get them threaded all the time. But what I do with my eyebrows is always brush them upwards. So I'll just show you in the mirror like this. You can see they're quite thick anyway, aren't they? Bushy eyebrows, honestly. So brush them up like that. Then I've got a pencil. I mean, don't even look at this. It's so embarrassing how battered this eyebrow pencil is. It's one of the Maybelline. It's actually just a Maybelline eyebrow pencil. And what I will do is I literally just take that and then just start colouring in. The thing is, for me and makeup, I really think makeup should enhance what you've got. It shouldn't make you look like a different person. So I'm not a massive fan of these like big, thick eyebrows that are like painted on, and like I just think that it needs to be quite subtle. And you know, if you're not like me and you haven't got dark eyebrows, then I'd use a much lighter pencil. You know, I don't think it looks that great when you're naturally blonde or fair, and then you're drawing on really dark eyebrows. You've got to do what suits your sort of complexion. And because I've got naturally dark brows, I can get away with just sort of filling them in. And then again, I just use this little brush and brush them up like that. Another good product that I found is this. It's called the Brow Club. And it just says light on the bottom. But this, it actually makes your eyebrows browner for people that have got black eyebrows like me, because I've got jet black eyebrows, and obviously I dye my hair. So if you want to lighten your brow slightly, which is really bizarre because most people want to darken their brow, if you want to lighten your brow slightly, this is actually really good. And what you do is, just make sure you haven't got too much on the brush, literally just paint it on like that. So you can see there, my eyebrows are now done. Lovely. So next it's the eyes, okay? So I get asked a lot about eye makeup. I have a lot of Charlotte Tilbury. I really like Charlotte Tilbury's palettes. This one is one of my particular favourites. The Bella Sofia. It's got like, I like earthy tones. I think earthy tones just suit my skin colour. But I just don't think you can ever go wrong with like browns and golds and colours like that. The other palette that I love is this Anastasia palette. Love it. It is amazing. I will write all of the details of the products below on the text so that everyone can see what I'm using. But this is the Anastasia palette, the Beverly Hills, Anastasia Beverly Hills. So what I tend to do is start off with my Charlotte Tilbury palette, yeah, and get myself a brush, quite a thick, again, my brushes are all Charlotte Tilbury. I love Charlotte Tilbury. So get a brush like that, which is quite thick and quite soft. And then I'll go for the lightest colour. So that one first. Dab that in there, yeah. And then just blow it gently. And then start off and I'll cover the entire lid. So cover the entire lid like that. Just going into the crease as well. And I wouldn't worry too much if you're getting bits down here. Ignore that. You can deal with that later. But if you blow the brushes or tap them gently, you're unlikely to get any of that. So literally just work it all the way round into the little crease of your eye. I don't go as high as my eyebrow there, I just go like this. So then I move on to this one, which is the one that's slightly darker. Again, on that thick brush. And then start in the corners. Very lightly and in circular motion, just work that in. I'm working a bit further up towards the brow. Then I use my fingers. I always use my fingers when I'm doing my makeup, just to blend it. You know, I'm not too precious while using my fingers. So there we go. So you can see it's going from light to dark. Same again on the other eye. From light to dark. You know, people always say to me, how long does it take you to do your makeup? It must take you ages. It doesn't take me that long at all. Once you get into that routine and you know what you're doing, it's dead easy. Right, then I move on to this palette, which is the Anastasia one. I like Credit, that dark colour as well. So again, I'm going to work that just into the corners. So you can see it's like a really nice gradient that you're creating, going from light to dark. So can you see that on my eye? So it's going from light to dark, yeah? You can also add a bit of sparkle. Like I really like this, I really like the Zamin. They've got weird names, Zam? Don't know. Anyway, I like these two. They're really nice. So sometimes what I will do, again, another Charlotte Tilbury, I will write the eye smudger. I will write all of the product names down below, but this is the other one that I really like. And what I'll do sometimes, if I want to go extra glam, then I'll go into that real glittery one there. Give it a blow. And then just add it. So you don't want to really be putting anything dark in that corner of your eye closest to your nose. There we go, lovely, lovely. Dab that on. And it just gives it a bit of sparkle. And then sometimes what I do is this white one here, which is kind of like a bit highlightery. I'll just get my finger, just make sure your finger's clean. Dab my finger in it, and then just underneath my brow here. See that? And it just adds like a bit of a sheen. It looks kind of like you highlighted it slightly. It looks good. Once that's done, it's onto eyeliner. Now, again, if you've smudged some stuff at the bottom here, don't worry, we'll deal with that afterwards. But I tend to find that I don't. If you blow it and you tap it, you don't really get that much stuff underneath your eyes. The key is not to put too much on the brush. If you're packing it all on the brush and then you start putting it on, it goes everywhere. So just make sure that it's, you know, it's quite minimal, and that you're, you know, that you're just being careful that you're not patting it all over the place. Right, next thing is eyeliner. Now, loads of people ask me about eyeliner, and again, this is just a Maybelline. Look how small it is. Honestly, my little nubbin. I love this eyeliner. This is, again, a Maybelline eyeliner. I've tried every eyeliner, like, you know, all the fancy brands, YSL, Chanel, everything, and this is my favourite, and it's dead cheap. So, what I do with my eyeliner, black eyeliner, you may want to use brown eyeliner. If you've got fair hair, fair skin, black eyeliner sometimes looks a bit too much, but obviously on my complexion, black eyeliner looks absolutely fine. And what I do with one finger, just hold it down and literally colour it in. So look at the difference immediately that makes. Just look at the difference between the two eyes. So immediately when I draw the inside of my eye, it just makes your eyes pop. What I also like doing is just getting the eye, make sure it's sharpish. So if it's blunt, make sure you sharpen it. And I like going into this little corner here, just a little bit. Okay, right, so that's the eyeliner inside my eye done. Next bit is the eyeliner over the top of my eye. Again, I get loads and loads of questions about what eyeliner I use. I used to be obsessed with this one, which again, Maybelline. Maybelline, literally, it's like a little pot. And I was obsessed with this, and I used to use this all the time. But then I discovered the Feline Flick Quick Fine Line Show Do Pen. Absolutely love this. It's so much easier than the Maybelline one, just because I really struggle with these, because I don't really like it's got to be, I'm very specific, and it's got to be a very specific shape, the tip of it, and I find that I really, really like this one. So I'm just going to show you how I do it. This is important now. So what I'll do is you just, with your middle finger, just pull that side there, and literally with this does all of the shape for you. So you're literally lining it up, drawing it on, and then just switch. Instead of holding it like that for the flick, I then switch it and hold it like this, and then make sure that I go right to the edge. A lot of people get really sort of up about getting both sides exactly the same. It doesn't really matter. As long as one side is very similar to the other, no one's going to notice. So don't get too worried about that. So again, pull with this hand, this finger this time. And this time I'm starting from the corner of my eye, working my way across. And then again, lay it across here. Now, what I'll then do is just look at both of them and see, are they pretty equal? If not, oh, that one's going up a little bit, then I'll just tweak this one. Then, just make sure that underneath your eyes is nice and clear. If you have got bits of rubbish there or bits of eye makeup, you know, the eyeshadow, then what I would do is just get you at your foundation again. Or if you want to, you can use a concealer. MAC do a really good concealer. Sometimes I'll use underneath my eyes. So what I'll do is I'll just blob it on like that. So just get the end of, this time use the smaller end. Same on this side, go underneath and blend away. Next bit is lips. No, sorry, next bit is actually is bronzer. Now, I love this. This is one of those things that I couldn't live without. I love this. It's the Chanel bronzing sort of, what is it, bronze universal. It's brilliant. Literally open it up, it's like a hard bronzing, I mean look at that, I've used this one, I need a new one. It's like a hard bronzing powder, and what I'll do is I'll use a brush, quite a thick brush, this one's from Kiko, literally swirl it round like that, blow it, and then I'll just work it round. And I'm not precious with this at all. Just literally go around like this. Nose, around my mouth, forehead, and that just gives you a bit of colour. Then I'll go on to this one, which is from BareMinerals, Invisible Bronze it's called. And then I will use a smaller brush. This one's a Bobbi Brown brush, a much smaller brush. Again, get a little bit on the end of your brush. And then this time just working it around my cheekbones. Then, to finish off, this one, Charlotte Tilbury, Cheek to Chic, Swish and Pop blusher. This one is, you can see it's quite nice and pink. So a little bit, don't like too pink, just a little bit on your cheeks, just to blush them up a bit. And then my lips. So, lots of people have been asking me about my lips. This one I use is, again, a Maybelline, what is it called, this one? It's 660 Velvet Beige. Does that say beige or rouge? It says beige, I think. But this is the one that I use. Make sure it's semi-sharp. And then I always use a lip liner. I just think it accentuates your lips. It makes them look better. So, lip liner. And then what I'll do is I start at the Cupid's bow. Go up, go up. So you do that little bit first. So there you go, you've got the line, you've got the basic line. Sometimes I do fill it in a little bit as well. So then that, and then lipstick, this is the one I really like. Anastasia Beverly Hills Kiss Matte Lipstick, this one. What I will do, again, I'll write the product details down, but really nice colour. So what I'll do is I'll go all the way around like this, and it matches the lip liner really well. MAC, Feeling Sentimental it's called. So use this, and then I use this in the middle of the lip, like that, and then just bring them together. And when you mix them, I feel like you get a much nicer colour. And then you can get your lip liner again, and just where it's really obvious where your line is, just blend it in. Love that, so that's all done. And then the final thing is putting eyelashes on. So I usually use Tatti Lashes. I do use Glamify. I think Tatti Lashes are really sort of like glam. So, you know, if you've got a night out or something like that, then these ones tend to be really good. So, always open them up. and cut them to the right size. I will usually, so I just usually get them out like that. As you can see, there's usually 2 ends, and you need to really cut it to the right size. So these 2 ends here, one there and one there. My eyes are quite big, so it's usually the entire length of the eyelash. So what I do is I just cut diagonally those little bits off. And then what you need to do is put the glue on. Now this is where a lot of people go wrong, I think. Again, this is just some glue that Tatti Lashes have sent me. I think MAC do a really good eyelash glue as well. Make sure you've got a good quality eyelash glue. And then what I would usually do is take the lashes. Make sure I've got some glue coming out of there. Squeeze it just slightly. So literally just make sure you've got a bit of glue on the end of your... If you find it's easier, blob it out somewhere and then just dip the tip of it in the glue. You only need a very thin, you don't need to pack it all on, only a very thin amount. So making sure that you've covered that band, and then you just leave them. It's really important that you leave them for about a minute or 2 until the glue goes tacky. If you start trying to put them on when the glue's wet, it's going to be a disaster. You're going to get makeup all over your face and you're going to have to redo your eyes. Now that they've gone a little bit tacky, now's the time to put them on. Yeah, you just feel it with your finger. It's gone tacky. Now what I do is I just literally close my eyelid and line them up, line it up, and literally with your tips of your fingers, push 2 corners down and then open. If you need to adjust them, don't start fumbling around with them. Use some tweezers and you can just use the tweezers to push them on. Close your eye. This does take a bit of practice. But because they're tacky, they stick on straight away. Now these are mega eyelashes, they're massive. You don't have to wear ones this big, but I love a big eyelash. And then with my bottom lashes, so they're my top ones done, dead easy. Line them up, make sure you use your nails and just literally anchor them down right side and the left side. So you just literally, and then if you need to mess around with them, use tweezers. Never just fumble around with your fingers, they'll go everywhere. Once that's done, I use a bit of mascara. Some people do use mascara underneath the fake eyelashes, but I think when they're this big and this fluffy, you don't really need them. But the mascara that I absolutely love, and I wouldn't use any other mascara, is Chanel. It's amazing. Of all the mascaras that I've tried, this one's the best one, but it's fabulous. So, literally look up and then I'll just do my lower lashes. Just be careful with this that you're not going onto your skin. If you do go onto your skin, not the end of the world, just get yourself like a little cotton bud. A lot of people use highlighter. You can use highlighter. I'm not a massive fan of highlighter. I think it makes you look a little bit weird, but if you want to use highlighter, you can use highlighter. There's lots of different highlighters actually. Which one was the one I liked? I don't really have any anymore because I just don't use it. But usually with highlighter, I mean, you can go just down here, down your nose, on your lip, a little bit on your cheeks if you want to, but I prefer the matte finish. And there you have it. Another good thing as well, another good tip is to use this. It makes your makeup last all night, really good. Another product from MAC, it's the like Fix Plus spray. So once I've finished, literally hold it away from you and then just let it dry. And that means that your makeup will stay on all night. But yeah, that's it, all done. Ready for a night out. That is the finished look. I know a lot of people like doing contouring, can do contouring, highlighting, glossy lips. If you were to use any gloss, I really like the Chanel gloss, but I generally do like the matte finish. So I don't tend to put gloss on. I don't tend to use highlighter at all. but that's just me. This is how I do my makeup. I don't think there's a right and wrong way to do makeup. If you enjoyed the video, like and leave a comment below, and let me know what you think.